Hi folks, hope you're doing well. So, what is just on my mind is that I've said quite a few times recently that I would rather be single. Yeah, if God said to me that your wife is the one that you thought would be your wife in 2021, yeah, Mrs. B, okay. If God says she will be your wife, I would say no. The reason why I would say no is quite simply, let's say, look, can I say absolutely? Can I say that I think it's likely that she asked the pastor from that church to ban me? No, not necessarily. Not necessarily. But can I say for a certainty that her behaviour was asking the pastor to ban me? That when she saw me in that church, I didn't see her. She was standing right in front of me, but I didn't see her. When she saw me, after I'd left, she went to the pastor and made a big fuss about it, according to him. She complained that I was in the church and it stressed her out. Right? Mm-hmm. Complaining to the pastor that someone's in the church and it's stressing you out, you're asking the pastor to make sure that doesn't happen again. Therefore, you're asking the pastor to make sure that person doesn't come in the church when you are there. Therefore, Sunday meetings. So therefore, anytime there's actual meeting, that person can't come into the church, right? That is what you're asking. Okay. Therefore, she did actually ask me to be banned from that church. Therefore. Okay, I know that. I know that even if she doesn't think she does, it doesn't matter. Because she knows that I was banned. And she was okay with that. She didn't go to the pastor and say, look, come on. Yeah, I've been a complete idiot. Yeah, I should have forgiven him. I shouldn't let it go. Yeah, I should have gone to God about it. I didn't. You know, my fault. Yeah, and even if, for example, if she's heard the videos where I've spoken about her recently. Again, what should she do about that? Go to God. Right? If she has a problem with anything I'm saying, she should be an adult about it and speak to me about it, yeah? Quite easily, knowing that when that church had its tea and coffee mornings, which they don't have anymore, but when they did, I was seeing the pastor on a regular basis at those meetings. She could easily set up a meeting between her pastor and myself with her. Right? To speak about any grievance she had with anything I was saying. Or just to ask me to stop talking about her, if that's what she wanted. She could easily have done that. And behave like an adult. All of that is what it is, yes? I'm not trying to have a go at the woman now. I'm simply trying to say that because I know all of that, it means that I know if I accepted to be joined with her as in marriage in the future, I would therefore be accepting that behaviour and welcoming that in our relationship. Welcoming her doing that to someone else while being with me. No, there's no way, shape or form. If I was with a woman and they did that to someone else, that woman would be begging to divorce me within days, because I would physically take her to the person that she was doing it to and make her stay there until she dealt with that bloody issue as an adult. I would not put up with that. No. I'd say, I'm sorry, but get on with it. You are a grown adult. If you want to be treated like an adult, then start behaving like one. Stop expecting to be treated like a grown adult while behaving like a small little bloody spoilt brat child. I wouldn't. There's no way, shape or form I could do that. Now, again, she's had incredibly poor teaching, incredibly poor pastors. That's the reality. Yeah, but so is everyone else in that church. It ain't just her. Everyone else in that church has had the same. Everyone else in the churches around has had the same. I mean, the reality is, again, the reason why I talk about the stuff that goes on in churches is because of the fact that this stuff needs to be understood. And so that people in church are woken up to the fact that this is going on in their churches, so that somehow, one day, they can actually start challenging this. Yeah, when they have their yearly meetings, they can start asking the right questions that need to be asked. Because it's like the River Church. You know, if I didn't care less about the people, I wouldn't be talking about the River Church. Yeah, the bloke who did that that Sunday morning meeting when the pastor was away, who said the things that were absolutely stupid. Yeah, if you've got people in the church that think more about how people think about them than his walk with God, then, as I say, basically, he should tell all those people that are doing that to him, because they are doing that to him. If he goes to hell, they are partly to blame for that. That's the reality. If they're giving him a pat on the back when he's been awful, they're making him think that awful was great. Right? If someone says something that offends him, or in any church, and they basically say, "Oh no, no one can offend you. No one can say something that offends you, makes you think, oh no, that hurt me." No one can do that. If they're saying that that's right, then they're saying that the devil's way is God's way. Right? If they're doing that, then, yeah. As I say, there's too many people in church who are people pleasers. And, yeah. I'm actually very thankful that I don't have any people pleasers in my life. No. I have people that I get annoyed about because they're so far away from people pleasing. Yeah. Most of the time they don't care less about what people think. But that's good, because at least you get honesty with them. What you don't get is people blowing smoke up your backside. Wanting to make you feel like you're doing really, really well when you're hanging off a bloody cliff. And, they would do that. Oh, yeah, they would do that, yeah. Yeah. And they will tell you while you're hanging off a cliff, don't scream out for help. Help is coming anyway, even when they know it's not. They will tell you you're strong enough to hold on with one hand, even though they know that you're not. Because they're trying to make people think that they're actually encouraging you. But they know themselves that what they're saying is a lie. And that's the point. I don't mind when people get it wrong. Yeah, when they've believe they're being honest and they get it wrong. I don't mind that at all. Well, don't mind that in any way, shape or form. That's fine. Because we all make mistakes. But I know in that church, in the River Church, there were people there who knew that, I think his name was Jeff, what Jeff was saying was wrong. They knew what he was saying was wrong. They knew it wasn't good, but they were giving him a pat on the back anyway. The pastor knew that what he was saying wasn't right. But rather than say, okay, what he was saying wasn't right, he said, oh, but what he meant was, well, if what he meant was, then what he said wasn't right. But again, as a pastor, he wants people to like him. Jeff Oakes wants people to think he's so amazing that he should be their spiritual father. Yeah. Not for me. It was never going to be for me. That was never going to be for me. But again, the reason why I talk about it still is because the people in those churches, they matter. And at some point, yeah, I'll be hoping that they will eventually stand up, that some of the people will stand up and say that this isn't good enough. And that they will go to God and that God can lead them. Because there's too many people looking at church and looking to church as really God. Well, the reality is, also what I was thinking earlier is, you know pretty much that most people coming into church now, they're not coming into church looking for God. How do you know that? Well, because in most churches they will not find God. Not nowadays, because too many churches are left-wing. That's not being said to try and hurt anyone or hurt any churches, but that's just reality. And if the people stay and they didn't find God, then they didn't come looking for God. They came looking for something else. A sense of community. And again, really, a sense of community is not what a church should be about, but in a sense of community, the encouraging that even when someone is wrong, encouraging them to continue doing that, even when what they're doing is wrong, even when they've done a really, really crap job, telling them they've done really well. That's community, right? That's what they do in that sort of community, yes? But you see it lying to people, that's from the devil. So when you say that rubbish was good, that's a lie. Because the problem is, again, people believe that there are different levels of truth and that some untruths are good. No, they're not. They're not. All untruths are lies. Some are lies that we know are lies. Some are untruths that we think are actually true. But you see, most of the things that we know are not true. But it's better to say a lie than offend someone. No, it isn't. That's the point. No, it isn't. It's better to tell the truth and offend someone than tell a lie and encourage people to walk in darkness. There you go. That's the reality. And that will be the name of this video, I think. So there you go. You take care. God bless. I'll speak to you soon. Bye-bye.